Welcome to the Nehemiah Entrepreneurship Community Podcast. I'm your host, Patrice Tsague. I am here with Ms. Randall, Joan Randall. Joan, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
You're welcome. Well, Joan is no stranger to us, but Joan, since you were here last time, you're now a partner with Nehemiah Project. You're now part of our team, and we've outsourced our publishing to you. Before we get on that, though, let's remind our audience exactly what you do. You are the founder and president of Victorious You Publishing. Let's talk about that a little bit in terms and what got you into publishing.
Yes, I am the founder and CEO of Victorious You Press Publishing. And the question you ask about what got me into publishing, it was never my desire to be in publishing. But that's because I was not obedient to the gift that God had sent me to earth with. And the minute I recognize that I am purposed to help people deliver their stories, I realized that that was always what God had placed in me, and hence Victorious You Press. What I do here is help faith-based leaders and spiritual thought leaders write and publish their best-selling book so they can monetize their impact, build a business, and create legacies.
Wow. And not only are you doing it here in the United States, but you and I recently traveled to Kenya. And you were able to do your Victoria You Press magic over there. How was that trip for you? And how was the reception in Kenya?
Listen, it was a life-changing experience for me, and I am humbled and honored that you trusted me enough to be a part of this trip with you and your beautiful First Lady. And I think the most incredible experience for me was on the safari, right? Because I felt like I met God there on the safari in Kenya. But I loved the group in Kenya. We were in Nairobi, then we visited Mombasa. I got a chance to preach in the same church that you preached in. I got a chance to do my first international workshop called The Power of the Pen. And oh my God, was it a win all across the board for us. And as a result of doing that, I have since helped about 4 or 5 people with their marketing. One of them got on the bestsellers list, which makes me so excited. And I just talked to Frank today. And so we have 2 people that are ready to move forward with full publishing from Kenya. So it was amazing.
That's incredible. That was your first time on the continent of Africa.
Yes.
It was almost a dream. It was a dream come true for you.
Yeah.
So overall, what surprised you the most about that trip?
Wow. I was surprised at the forward movement of the people on the continent, because what I saw here in the United States, what is shown on TV, is truly not the depth of wisdom and professionalism and riches that I expected to see in Kenya. I was blown away by the love of the people. I was blown away by the brotherly embrace that I got. I remember when Frank said to me, "Welcome home," it brought tears to my eyes. And the company that we were in, Patrice, attorneys and doctors and business owners, somebody who owned a mall, and it blew my mind. I was completely blown away. And then I saw Starbucks, and I'm like, wait a minute. This is everything. Yeah.
That is incredible. That is incredible. You also had a chance to experience one of our top performing centers in Nehemiah Entrepreneurship Community outside the United States. What do you think of the work in Kenya and those biblical entrepreneurs and what Frank is doing there?
It is just beyond my wildest dreams. First of all, Frank's leadership is incredible. Frank I called him today the mayor of Nairobi, because he is such a leader, an unassuming leader as well, but know that he has, the power of impact. in what he does and leading people that are business owners to this whole concept of biblical entrepreneurship is taking the kingdom of God across the world and building it in a way where people are creating legacies with their gifts, their talents, their treasures, and being able to use that and provide for themselves and their family while serving God. It's the ultimate blueprint of the creation. The story of creation is taking everything that God, the emptiness, and being able to build from a business perspective. And I love what Frank is doing with the team in Nairobi, in Kenya.
Yeah, well said. And what's also awesome about that is that you see hope for Africa.
Yes.
That if we were to partner with the Franks in Africa and come alongside them, what God can do in transforming that region of the world. Let's talk about our partnership. So,
Yes.
Since you've been on the podcast, you partnered with Nehemiah Project. You're now kind of strengthening our publishing arm. We brought you in because you've been able to develop just an innovative way to make our authors bestsellers, to fast track bringing authors to publish. One of your courses, the Power of the Pen, is now an offering on our. As a matter of fact, team, let's have that up because now you can enroll in a course called the Power of the Pen. That's available now as an on-demand course on the e-community platform. You can take the course, The Power of the Pen. It's now available with us. Let's talk about that. So, what tell us a bit about what the partnership email project looks like for you from a standpoint of Victoria Press, and what's the impact of that for your company?
First of all, the partnership was something that I did not expect. It's truly a gift and a blessing to me, and to be able to share the gift of helping people tell their story, helping people give birth to their story on a global platform is will really putting my company leaps and bounds from where we thought we would be at this point. And also from a company perspective, to be able to see a different side of the publishing world and how we can connect with Nehemiah Publishing, who has been established, and be able to just partner, add what we do as best practices, your best practices, bring them together, and just make this dynamic product where people can publish and really hit the bestseller list. I'm so excited to partner with you to make this happen.
Yeah, that is awesome. I mean, what I love about it is, it's, the power partnership, right? That's your specialty. And you are almost helping me realize a dream, which is really be able to robustly help people. Now, one of the people that you work with a number of our members from Kenya, from here, but one of the people that you're working with is myself.
Yay!
So I've kind of told Joan, I said, listen, Joan, you got to make me an example. I got to be the product of the product so I can have credibility. So, Joan, let's talk about that. So, first of all, are you nervous about that challenge? Is it a fair challenge? Or are you excited about it?
I am. First of all, I am not nervous. I am super excited. You are my coach. And so what an honor to be able to refurbish something that my coach put out 13 years ago to be and I'm excited. The challenge is amazing. And as we talk through this podcast and you share the work that we're doing together, I don't want to give it away, but I am just so excited to be able to use you or have you as my first true client. I mean, what better way, right? Here on this side of your organization to be able to get that book, where we want it to be. And it is the true test of what your expectation is from Victorious U Press. So we're excited.
I love it. So you guys, so this is literally going to be for the next 20 minutes. We're going to talk about my own journey as an author and how Victoria Press, Joanne, actually partnered in my project, helping me. So let me kind of give you a backdrop. I've been writing and publishing I think I think my first book was actually done probably about 18 years ago. Um, I've sold lots of books, but I've never hit the bestseller list, nor have I even been intentional about it. I've looked at books as a strategy for obviously additional revenue, as well as to complement my overall calling and to supplement my
Yeah.
training and coaching, right? And so here comes Joan along to Sipper Trees. You can be a bestseller. Let's be intentional about making sure your book hits the bestseller list. So we took one of my books, Nothing But a Jar of Oil, a
Yeah.
book that I published years ago, and we decided to do a second edition.
Yes.
All right, so Joan, let's talk about it because there's some people listening and watching. They might want the same thing. So I'm in this case, I am the author. You are my coach in this particular instance, and I came to you. I said, okay, Joan, I want to re-release this book as a second edition. Talk a bit about the process you've been taking me through as you've been working towards making the revision and getting to where we actually get to release.
So a couple of things is actually going to the book that is already there on Amazon and taking a look at it and to see what I can do differently with this book. Understanding that I need to add something in the book to the book, not necessarily the content, but to refresh a lot of things with the book to get you on the bestseller list, right? The biggest miss was that Nothing But a Jar of Oil was not an ebook. And I think that understanding that part, I knew that that was going to be something that was additional that we could do for the book that would get you to the bestseller list. The second thing is that I noticed that there were not a lot of reviews on the book. So
Mm,
that is something that we can spruce up, because if I'm going to go to Amazon to buy a book, the first thing I'm going to do before I buy it is read the reviews. And so I knew that that was something that we could do. I also understood that you had this global platform. And if you have this huge global platform, everyone on this platform should either have a copy of Nothing But a Jar of Oil or should know about Nothing But a Jar of Oil. And so I noticed that there was a little bit of lag where Nothing But a Jar of Oil was concerned. And that is what I love. I love a challenge. I love to take something that's kind of pushed down on the bottom and just bring it to the surface. And so that's why I get so excited about Nothing But a Jar of Oil, because we're going to turn this around. And I'm so excited about our strategy for marketing. I'm so excited about our strategy for getting the ebook created. I'm excited for the new book cover. I'm excited to release the new book cover to the world. And I can't wait for the press release to come out and for it to get into the airwaves so that I want to answer the question because you ask what is something I can do to coach you through this.
mm,
First thing is, how do we freshen up the book because it's the second edition? What can we do to the content to make it more inviting? Number three, reviews. Number four, the ebook. Number five, the press release. Number six, marketing. Big deal with marketing. Email, social media, Goodreads, things of that nature. So those are the elements that we have included in getting this book to where we need it to be with your 2009 book, now republishing in 2022.
yeah, I love what you just said because essentially, what you've kind of talked about is you've made an assessment of the current book and said, how do we refurbish it to kind of make it more modern, more in the time,
Yeah.
and more enhanced? Second, you looked at what was available, and you concluded that the ebook version was not available,
Right.
and the ebook is key to the strategy that and so immediately that's one thing you've done. But then it looks like the second thing you did, the third thing you did, is that you looked at, okay, what's Patrice's network?
There you go.
And so you're trying to now leverage this global network to facilitate this track towards bestseller. But what I like in the sense is that you're taking what it seemed to be very obvious. That's what a coach does, right? A coach draws from what you have as strengths and repositions them to create a particular outcome.
Yes, sir.
And then, but you've also done something else that I want to make sure others understand. You brought enthusiasm to the project.
Thank you.
Because as I've talked with the team, nothing like a champion and a cheerleader. Because sometimes just having somebody who reminds a team of the possibility and potential of a work, right? Immediately, it creates success for that particular work. So let's talk about that what I call the Joan effect, the Joan Randall effect. This idea, there's a cover, nothing but a job well.
I'm
There it is.
so
That's the new edition
excited.
cover.
I'm so
And yeah, so let's talk about it. And by the way, this book, when I first released it, is subtitled "The 7 Steps to Achieving Financial Victory Through Biblical Entrepreneurship." So the assumption this book makes is that even though we are entrepreneurs, many of us have not achieved financial victory. The assumption that the book makes is that all of us want financial victory, but some of us don't have great and grand ideas. We're not Joan Randall, right? And so may only be one talent people, right? And so how does the one talent person try to achieve what the 2 and the 3 talent person achieve? And we go back into the Old Testament and pull the story of this widow who was bankrupt, facing a financial crisis and an uncertain future. And she goes to the prophet Elijah for help. And he takes him through 7 steps to changing her destiny. And by the way, guess what? Her destiny is changed. He coached her into becoming financially free. So, but so much about the book, we'll get to it. So Joan, let's talk about this Joan effect, this Joan Randall effect. You kind of just you are contagious in your enthusiasm. So how powerful is that effect into create enthusiasm for an author and their team as they try to make a book work?
I think that, first of all, I think the enthusiasm is innate. It's nothing pretentious. It's a gift. And secondly, when it comes onto book, it's almost like I breathe books. And because I know the power of the pen, and because I know how much impact the pen has, anyone that's an author, I want them to feel the excitement about the power of their own words. You are my coach, and you have done some incredible things, and your books are amazing. And so just getting an opportunity to refurbish this book is an honor for me. And I get so excited about it because I feel as if this is my book. It's my project. I'm helping with it, but I don't look at an author's book as their book. I look at it as my book. And if this is my book, this is the excitement I'm going to have about the impact this book will have on those that are I called to serve. So I'm going to be excited for you as I would have been had it been my book. And that's the approach I take with every author.
Wow, I love it. Well, I'm glad you're on my side because I need that enthusiasm. With that, let's try to land this plane. So somebody's there watching and listening. They're saying, I want you to do for Patrice what you've done for me, what you've done for Patrice.
Yeah.
Right? They're saying, I may have a book idea. They're saying I may have a book that I released years ago that didn't go anywhere. So how do they connect with you to get that same kind of help? Oh, I think right there, your website is there, joanrandall.com.
Yes.
And so Joan, so you can help them achieve the same outcome. Is that true?
Absolutely. I've done it for almost 400 people at this point. And not to brag on myself because I have a team, but can I give you some statistics, Coach?
Yes,
so,
please.
70% of my authors are referrals. That's a huge number. That tells me that the people that I've published like what I do so much, that 70% of the people I now publish are from referrals. 99.5% of every author made the best-selling list in the top 5. Now,
Wow.
the top 100 is considered the best-selling list. But when you have 99.5% of your author in the top 5 or the top 10, that speaks a different kind of language. And 25% of my authors are return authors, which
Wow.
means they published with me, the service was excellent, and so they came back to do their second, and I've had people do their third books. So that
Wow.
is something that we love. And we have motto. We have 5 core values at Victorious You Press. It is live, it is learn, it is love, it is lead, and it is legacy. Now, those are just the one word and they're phrases, right? But in everything we do, we live each day as how God wants us to live, with impact. We learn, right? Because we're always students of our business. So I'm always learning more about the publishing industry. We love because we build relationship. And every relationship we have with an author, we work with them in excellence. We lead because we teach them. We not only publish, but we give them the tips, the tools, and the strategies so that they can continue to write their second and their third book. And then last, what we do is lead a legacy, because we believe that everything that God has placed inside of us, it is not just for us. It is to impact those we come in contact with because of the Great Commission. And that is, to multiply, to replenish, to subdue, and to rule. And so that's how we lead at Victorious You Press.
Wow. You are in your calling. You are in your element.
Thank you.
One of the things that we teach entrepreneurs and coach them is do what you love.
Yes.
Find that area of passion, that area of gifting, and pour yourself into it, and you will succeed. It's almost a guarantee. But Joan, it sounds like you almost also saying you almost guaranteed bestseller to your client. Is
Yes.
that true? And no matter, what if the book sucks?
So here's the thing. If you follow my steps and my strategy, I guarantee you will be on the bestseller list. If
Wow.
you do not, I don't know what will happen. So at the outset of having that contract with that author to be, I am like, are you willing and able to follow directions? Because this is my lane of expertise. If you follow my directions, you're going to hit the best-selling list. If you divert or don't follow through, I don't know what's going to happen. But if you follow the steps, absolutely, it will happen.
I love it. Well, so we're going to have you come back to see how coachable I am.
Yes.
So we're going to have Joan come back and we're going to talk about how coachable I am, because ultimately you're saying, I don't want to be the one that failed the class. I don't want to be the one that failed Joan Randall. My team just told me that the Power of the Pen link is not available. But you know what? If you want to take the Power of the Pen class, just shoot an email, and then we'll make sure that we get that link to you. Yeah. All right, we'll make sure it's an on-demand course that really helps you in your journey in becoming, in transforming your idea into a book form. If you want to connect with Joan Randall, visit her at joanrandall.com, joanrandall.com. Joan Victoria Republishing. Joan, don't leave yet, because I do want you to release a words of encouragement to our listeners. So before we do, though, if you want to know more about the Nehemiah Project, visit our website, nehemiahecommunity.com, nehemiahecommunity.com, where you can learn about our training program, our coaching program, our Access to Capital program. You can also learn how to connect with our community so that you are able to connect with this global community where we can transform the world together. If you enjoyed this podcast, maybe you know others who want to write, or are authors who want to bring their work out, who want to understand the power of the pen, or who want to be encouraged by Miss Enthusiasm, Miss Jones. Just send them this podcast. Say, listen, I met this woman and she's did this podcast. You'll be so encouraged by her because she breathes enthusiasm. So share it on your social media. Share it by email. However you want to share with others, because friends share with friends the things that have impacted them. With that said, Joan, we're facing this. I just recently had coronavirus. Many people have had it, and it's just been a tough time for businesses around the world, entrepreneurs, as they deal with navigating what does it look like, what's the new normal in this pandemic season. So, what I want to ask you is this. So, I'm watching and listening to this podcast, and oftentimes stories comes out of pain.
Yeah.
Your own story. You read about your books. You've published several books. You invest out to yourself, and a lot of your stories is about your own pain journey.
Yeah.
So, talk to our audience a bit about if I've got a journey of pain, whether it was the pandemic, pre-pandemic, or right now, whatever it is. What advice would you give me as to how I can begin to see how that journey can be transformed into a transformative book that can help somebody else in their own journey of pain?
Yeah. First of all, let me just say, I think that any type of pain positions you for purpose. When I think about, my favorite character in the Bible is Joseph, and how his pain landed him into his purpose. And I also think about crushing. I think about olives, it's crushed to get the olive oil. I think about grapes being crushed to get wine. I think about the refiner's fire, and how diamonds has to be refined to get the brilliance. So I think about pain as not something that you should be ashamed of, but how can you learn from the adversities that you have experienced and turn it around. I also think that if you have overcome some things, that there are other people that have gone through it, is going through it, and will go through it. So why not use your experience and your story to be able to provide that vitamin or that painkiller for somebody who is not yet there, who has not yet received their breakthrough. So I believe that if you're in some type of pain, or if you have experienced it, or you're going through something or went through something, right? You have a story to share with the world, because your story could just be the thing that gives someone else their breakthrough. And there is nothing as powerful as the pen. It leaves an indelible impression that cannot be erased. And as you write, you're providing that painkiller for someone else, or that vitamin. As I say, when you think about vitamin, you think about enhancing your life. When you think about painkiller, you think about a solution to a problem. And so each of us has an experience, a story, an expertise, or a gift for us to share with the world, because God, when he created us, he put all of this inside of us. And some of us, it is through the pain that our gift is recognized. So we all have a story and can share it.
I love it. I love the point you make about it's either a painkiller or a vitamin.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that is so powerful. So, in a sense, whatever I'm going through or have gone through, the Lord will use that
Yeah.
for his glory and for my good. And writing is one of the ways that he can use that with.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome. Listen, be on the lookout, guys. The book, Nothing But a Drive Wall, will be coming out soon. We're going to bring Joan back later on, talk more about it as we come out with the book. If you want Joan to take you through your own journey of understanding the power of the pen, you can reach out to her at joanrandall.com, joanrandall.com. They can learn about how she can come alongside you and help you as a resource to publish your own work. With that said, I would like to close us in prayer. Let me pray for you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord enable you to steward those talents that are under your care.
Thank you.
And may you steward them in such a way that one day you can hear those wonderful words. Well done.
Amen.
Good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. Guess what? He'll not make you ruler. God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you so much for watching and listening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Joan.
Thank you.